wanted to update you on some of the trend lines. I wanted to acknowledge some of the headlines, and I wanted to give you a sense of where we believe we are going as a state. I say all of this mindful that the last few weeks have been challenging. The last few weeks have changed in many respects the focus of this nation, not just this state. But I want you to know and be assured that our focus remains very, very direct at addressing the issue of the spread of COVID-19 and cognizant of the fact that we are by no stretch of the imagination out of the woods, and we continue to have a lot of work to do. I want to just begin with the following slide you see up here. It's a photo of the state of California. That state slide represents the equivalent of roughly 21 different states in terms of total population. It's important to make this point. The state of California, the largest state in our nation, 40 million residents strong, represents the population of 21 states. So just imagine looking at that state map, putting in over 40% of America's states. And that gives you a sense of the magnitude of the state of California and the magnitude of our responsibility to approach our response in a way that addresses the needs of different parts of the state of California, different regions. Accordingly, we have long talked about the fact that our approach to addressing the issues of COVID-19, its spread, and our suppression and prevention strategies have to be from the frame bottom up. We've long talked about the fact that localism ultimately is determinative, that we recognize local conditions are distinct and unique from one another. And we recognize that conditions in far reaches of California and northern parts of the state are very different than in the San Francisco Bay Area, are very different than the Los Angeles region. And accordingly, we have afforded the ability for local health directors working collaboratively with their hospital systems, working collaboratively with advocates, and working, of course, very collaborative with their elected officials to make determinations for themselves on when to move forward through our phased-in approach. As many of you have heard me say in the past, we put up guidelines, but guidelines don't mean go. We put up guidelines that create a framework of how we believe we can reopen the economy safely, but we don't prescribe when. We maintain, because of the size, scope, and scale of the state of California, that those decisions should be made with local lens. Those decisions should be made by allowing and advancing localism to be the thrust and the guide to ultimately making the determination of when to move forward through these phases in safely reopening the economy throughout the state of California. We've often talked about it in terms of not being an on and off switch, so it relates to when we, quote unquote, reopen, but a dimmer switch based upon, again, data, based upon science. Again, counties ultimately using data to inform their decision. And it's that data that we monitor.